right, man. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Shootin' the Shit here in King's Corner. I'm Jake, and this is Sam.
Hey.
And, I don't know. Today we're just going to be shooting the shit about whatever the hell comes through. Something I wanted to talk about off the bat, something that was pissing me off.
Let's hear it.
I was driving, so I drive about half an hour back and forth to work every day. And a lot of it's highway driving. I'd say a good 20 minutes at least if it's on the highway. And I like to go in the fast lane because I don't want to go slow in the slow lane, which I think is valid. But then people come up behind me and they go right on my ass, even though I'm already going well over the limit because people want to go fast as shit. And they start flashing their high beams at me right behind me, and I'm like,
but you're in the.
But I'm in the fast lane.
It's the passing lane.
Well, it's the fast lane. The way I always grew up in Ontario, there's 4 lanes, and then the more closer to the left you go, the faster lane it is.
I remember my dad telling me that the most right lane was 100 kilometers an hour, normal, and then the middle lane was 110. The left lane was 120.
Yeah.
It's not true. But that's...
It's not true. That's how it feels. Okay?
That's how it feels.
So now...
But then, to be fair, in actuality, it's supposed to be the passing lane.
Okay.
Remember when we did that road trip?
Yeah.
And every time you were driving, you were always in the left passing lane.
Because the left lane is the better lane.
We were in the US.
It's the slow lane and the fast lane.
And everybody was like... Move over. You're just like, oh, this is
dude, this is awesome. Well, yeah, because you know what happens is people are going slow and I'm going fast and I want to go past everybody. And it's why would I waste time going back to the not fast lane to then just quickly pass them again and go zigzagging? I think it's more dangerous. The more times you got to shift lanes, the more opportunities for smashing into somebody. Therefore,
but it's kind of fun, no?
The fast lane is the better lane.
I mean, maybe, but I love the feeling of the
cutting
skill,
someone off.
I wasn't gonna say it like that, but I guess. But the skill of having to come in and out, when you're weaving in and out of traffic, and it can be kind of dangerous depending on the way that you do it and how much risk you're willing to take. But for me, it's so much fun, you got your music going and you're just kind of going in and out, and then you come back to the right, and then you're going fast enough that no one else is really passing you, and then you pass everybody, and then you're just some guy like you is in the left passing lane, and you're like, okay, guess I'll go to the slow lane to pass him and then come around. And it's just fun, man. Because
sometimes when I'm driving, it depends on how busy it is, right, on the highway. But sometimes, you have the slow lane is pretty full up, but there's some spaces in between, and then the faster lane is, I refuse to call it the passing lane, it's the fast lane. And it's, and we're going...
The left lane.
The better lane. The lane for people who know how to drive without fear in their hearts.
Yeah.
So,
the courageous driver's lane.
There's the lane for confident people, and then there's the lane for lames. The lame lane, if you will. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm going in we'll be in the fast lane, the good lane, and we'll be driving, and then there's a whole train of cars, and we're all fucking just cruising, We're all just happily speeding. Because we're all speeding, so they can't pull over everybody.
Well, that's it.
That's the way it goes, So, and then even when we were in the States, we were going around, and then the speed limit said 70 or 60 or whatever, but everyone was going 90.
Oh, 100%.
And so, what are we going to do? Not go 90 and then just fucking slow down everybody else? No, we have to...
You have to go with the flow of traffic.
With the flow of traffic.
Yeah. Even I remember,
it's dangerous not to.
It is. It totally is. Because if you're going 60 and the speed limit is 60, and then everybody's going 90, well, what the fuck?
You're gonna cause an accident that way.
That's it, right? And people
you're gonna ruin people's day, ruin your car. Your insurance goes up. It's bad for everybody.
It's just not worth it.
No.
I'd rather risk the speeding ticket.
Yeah.
But also, I remember when I was 16, 17. And I was doing this. I never took driver's ed, But I did take one lesson before one of my my G2 tests in Ontario. So before I could drive on my own, I hadn't driven for so long, so I took one lesson, And the guy was like, yeah, he said the same thing. He's like, you know, he's a driving instructor. He's like, you know, you always want to go with the flow of traffic because you're just, that's just how it is.
You know, okay, so I have to admit, now that we're talking about driving school, I do remember being in driving school.
Did you take it? Did you take it?
Yeah. They would come pick me up, and sometimes I'm like, I'm fine with reading, but sometimes I think I'm dyslexic with directions.
Okay.
So people say left or right, and then I get very confused, and I just go whatever way feels right.
Sure.
So a lot of times they would say turn left, and I would just turn right, or turn right, and I would just turn left. And then the guy was like, "Can you hear me? Like, do you have hard of hearing or something?" Because I did it like multiple times. He was getting really mad at me. But I would have been way easier if you just pointed, turn over here, and then I'm like, got it.
Yeah, for sure.
But no. I was just.
Yeah, I never took it. Like, did it help? I guess.
I think it helps if you have no idea what you're doing, right?
Well, that's how I started. You know,
right?
I had no idea. I remember I was in my mom's Honda Civic. It was like a 1998 Honda Civic or something. Nice. I was learning in that, and you know, I didn't know what to do. I had no idea. I would press the gas pedal and I would go. You know, just like take off like a fucking rocket, and you're like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
So like for the longest time, I had to learn how to do that, and then also steer and everything. And I mean, I learned on the road.
See, like the thing is, maybe this is for better or for worse, but I grew up with the confidence of driving semi-recklessly but with control because we grew up having like four-wheelers and snow machines and dirt bikes and stuff growing up on the farm. So we would always drive around that shit.
That's fine. I never had that.
In the field.
That sounds like fucking...
You know, but then the thing is that I'm very confident with being kind of risky on that machinery. And so then I sit behind the wheel of a car and I'm like, oh, this is easy. Gas, brake, turning. Yeah. Done. Easy. And it's like, oh, what's the limit? Oh, we have a thing that tells us how fast we're going. Ah, that's annoying, you know? But then, here's the other thing. Yeah. At the same time, with that level of confidence, I was also... GTA 5 came out at that time. So, one of my favorite things to do in the early days of Grand Theft Auto 5 was I would... steal a semi-truck and just plow through all the cars.
Fuck, what a fun game.
And it felt pretty realistic because it was like good graphics and like, you know, some of the things were like fairly realistic physics. I mean, it was GTA, so sometimes it was ridiculous and stupid. Of course. But it was so sometimes, you know, you're just going through with the transport truck and you're just smashing through all cars like they're paper. Yeah. And so then I developed a strong fear of transport trucks when I was learning to drive. Yeah. And I was just like, every time they come, I'm just like... like frozen, just like don't hit them, you will die. Right? So
I remember I used to drive a lot with my brother. And he hated my driving because he's very cautious. He drives like the speed limit, you know, sometimes under the speed limit, and that pissed me off so much when I was driving with him. Yeah, he was the one driving. I was like, "Can you go faster?" Like, man. And then he would be like, "No," and I was like, "Okay." So when I was driving, I had like a minivan. I had a 2009 Chevrolet Uplander. Yep. That was my first vehicle. Nice. And I just wanted it because I needed a vehicle.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm going to buy that. So it was awesome. I loved it. But when I was driving, he hated it because I would always go, you know, 20, 30 over the speed limit. And I would weave in and out of traffic, and on the highways I would go to pass the transport trucks, sometimes even when they were like weaving a little bit like in the lane, and I would be like, okay, you know, I don't know, I'd have that mindset where it's like, okay, you know, if something happens, it happens. It's fine. Now, granted, he wanted to live. You know?
He wanted to.
So we were in two different states of mind, right? Yeah. So he would be
like,
out.
"Let's go," and he's just like, "I don't want to die."
That's it, exactly. So he would be like holding on to like the side, the I don't know what you call it, like
I call it the holy shit bar.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he'd be holding on to that, and I'd be like, "Well, let's go. This is great." I'd have my music like cranked, and he'd be like, "What the fuck?"
That's great.
Oh, it's so much fun.
I love that.
I love driving. I really do.
Yeah, man. No, it's good.
Especially on the highways, you know, like around here, it's not the same, you know, because it's 2-lane highways, you know. Yeah. One way going, you know, north or whatever, and the other way going south, and that's it. You know, but then
it's less exciting for sure.
400 series, you've got.
There's so many lanes.
4 or 5 lanes. Yeah.
See, I feel like it would be fun, but also kind of dangerous. If I were to get a motorcycle.
I
Because-
would love a motorcycle.
Right? You're
I
just
think
like
that would
weaving
be
in and out of the traffic, especially
Yeah.
like on like more than 2-lane highway. You know, you
Yeah.
got 3 or 4 lanes.
Yeah, yeah.
But then you're just really flying in
And then
between
you
and
see
whatever.
those guys like lane split between the cars. and
Yeah,
it's
oh,
like,
that's sketchy as
ooh,
shit.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, you're gonna have so much fun snowboarding.
I think so.
Definitely.
'Cause I love being on my bike, going downhill and
Yeah.
you're just going back and forth and you just let go of the handlebars and
You just let go.
you just go, it's just so much fun.
Down the hill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think snowboarding.
See, like I remember we used to, when I was like kids growing up, we would ride bikes going around to each other's house. We lived like in like farm country.
Yep.
So it was like to go visit someone else's house. It was like a 10-minute bike ride or sometimes like a half-hour bike ride. But we would do it because we had nothing else to do. It was like whatever.
Yeah.
Before people had phones at the age of 14 or 13 or 10, so we were going around and just cruising. And yeah, we were doing that, and then we would like pretend like archery at each other and be like,
oh yeah, you told me. Yeah.
so it's like a fun little thing. But yeah, and then we got into airsoft guns, and that really changed the game of us like shooting at each other. We wouldn't do it while riding bikes, but no, I think
pretend it's a horse.
that would have been fun. That would have been cool. But
Yeah.
no, we used to just
We should do that. We should get
have
some
like airsoft wars.
We should get some airsoft guns and take our bikes out. Two grown men riding around Canmore shooting each other.
I feel like there's probably some laws against shooting each other with airsoft guns in public streets.
Do you think so?
Probably.
I've never read them.
And then,
I don't know. I don't think
not knowing the law is not an acceptable excuse for breaking the law.
It's like during COVID.
Yeah.
When everybody was like, "Oh, I didn't know," like.
Wait, I have to stay inside?
Yeah.
No fucking
No one
way.
told me. I don't watch TV. What do you mean? I don't know. In a town.
I'm Amish.
yeah, exactly.
Bro, the Amish people must have been so fucking surprised and confused during COVID. They're just like going like out to the market and like, it's closed. What's going on
Yeah,
here?
there's like lineups of people waiting outside in the market with all masks on. And
Buddy
they're
has like
"Yeah."
6 cases of
What's
toilet
going
paper
on?"
and he's like,
Yep.
is there a good deal? What's happening?
That's
Man,
it.
that would have been wild. But they were probably chilling. They were just like, oh, okay, I guess we'll just stay home.
Probably.
You know?
Or
Like-
I mean, I think a lot of them
some
are outside
basics.
a lot, right? Like they
Yeah.
work and live on farms, so
Yeah.
probably didn't really.
It changed almost nothing for them. Well, maybe like one person who went to town and then caught COVID and then like got the whole community sick.
Yeah, maybe for like older people too. Yeah, but I remember in this town next to the one that I used to live in, there was this big party. A huge party. It was I think it was when was that? Maybe like April or May of like 2020, 2021, like when it first came out, or 2020, sorry. So like 2 months after the first cases started coming to Canada, there was this huge party of like high schoolers, and there was, I don't know, maybe like 100, 150 of them, and then the police showed up and were like, what are you guys doing? Like there's like this peak like disease, like what's going on? And they were all like, fuck, we didn't know. We had no idea.
Like, wait, seriously?
Yeah. So the police started calling their parents and like put like public notices out, like asking the parents to come and pick up their kids because they're just spreading disease and making more variants and whatnot and whatever. But they didn't give a fuck. They didn't care. They didn't care at all.
No.
They're just like we're just having fun.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you're like a younger generation, right, and you just don't give a shit. It's partly when you're a teenager and you just don't care about breaking the rules at all because
Of course,
you're like, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, man, when I was a teenager, I did a lot of shit that I wouldn't do now, obviously, right? Because you get in like a lot of trouble if shit happened.
Sure.
But also, it's just like when you're like 15, you're just like, rules? No, that's stupid. And you see how much shit you can get away with, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, and then even
I
more.
still have part of that in me that still does it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think I don't think people like truly really grow up until, I think until you have kids, you don't really like really really grow up. You're still like
maybe.
pseudo kid at heart. Even still, like when my dad, like when I was young, my dad still felt like he was like a giant like man child.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he was just like having fun and cracking jokes and like being
Yeah.
goofy and shit and whatever, and so
I think that's just being human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're gonna say being a man.
I mean, being a man as well.
Just don't give a fuck. It's like, it's fine. Be a man. Don't give a fuck.
Don't show expressions. Don't show feelings. But last night I was riding my bike around town for a bit.
Yeah.
And I was taking this this trail that I've never been on. And it's by the river. And I just kept going and going. And then I came to this part where it ended completely. Except there's one route that you could go. But there's a big gate and a sign that said, "Do not go past this sign for your own safety."
You're just like,
And I was
I'm
like,
gonna go past that sign. So what was past it? What?
it was a golf course. I was biking into a golf course.
In case you get smoked in the head by a golf
I
ball.
think so. Yeah. But it was like it was becoming night. It was like 7 o'clock or something.
Yeah.
So nobody was playing.
Yeah.
So I was just biking through this golf course, and I was like, "Where am I? Like, I don't know where I am."
Yeah.
And I ended up like coming out by these like train tracks. It was really weird, but really cool. You know, I saw the sign and I was like, "Do I go?" Yeah. You know, sometimes there's just something that like pushes you to do it. You know.
Yeah.
Or like sometimes when I'm at the grocery store, I go to the bulk food section. You know, and you look around, you look like both ways down the aisle, and nobody's there. You take a little bit, a little handful. You know.
Yeah. Wasn't it a couple years ago? Who was it? Teresa, I think.
Yeah.
In the grocery store.
Well, yeah. So she's from Denmark, right? And she's super. I don't know, like
Rule following.
kind of like very just sophisticated.
She seemed like a well-rounded person.
Yeah.
You know?
Very civilized. Yeah. Very nice girl, and she was super nice. And then we went to Canmore the one day, and we just went down that bulk food section, and I was like, Teresa, I really want some nuts. You know? And I go to take a little bit, and it pours so much, and it just goes all over the floor. And I was like, just walked away.
I think it's time to leave now.
It was the worst. I'm not always a good person, but she was. I don't think she she was just like what the fuck. She was not happy with me. But,
I mean, when we were kids, it used to be like a thing of like, you know, you go to the grocery store and then my mom would just like grab a grape out of the bag and be like, God, taste and see if the grapes are good or not. And so then I remember like being like, I don't know, like 8 or something, and grabbing like a little bundle of grapes, like ripping it out of the thing and just like, and like to me, like I don't know how, but I didn't think that was like illegal or stealing like at all. I didn't think I'd get in trouble. Like, you know, I just grab like 4 or 5 grapes and just, you know, walk around the grocery store.
I think it's like a gray area, no? Like
it's a green area.
You know, like I don't know. It's if it's something that small.
Yeah, what is it like petty crimes if it's like, you know,
under 5,000.
Under 5,000? I thought it was under 1,000. Maybe it depends on place to place.
Federally, I think there's like theft under 5,000 and then theft over 5,000.
Okay.
Under 5,000 is not a huge, like it can be, but it's not a huge deal.
So I remember reading somewhere on, I always say I remember reading somewhere or hearing somewhere, but it's literally always Instagram. But I read this.
I was reading this
reading this meme.
Very complex.
So last time I was reading,
you know?
Dude, last time I read a book, it was probably, I don't know, college.
Yeah.
Pre-COVID. So at least 6 years since I've read like actually reading something. Well, no, that's not true. I've read the 12 Rules from Peterson.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
Was it?
Yeah. It's dense. Dude is get this. He's a good writer.
Yeah?
It's fucking dense, dude.
Okay.
Like, you need to stop and think about what he's writing for a little bit. Sometimes even just gather the whole paragraph. Because, like, sometimes I thought I was bad at run-on sentences.
Uh-huh.
I mean, my teachers would always say you need to put periods in the middle of your sentences to, like, cut it up so it's not, like, 2 paragraphs of a sentence.
Yep.
Because I just have a long idea, you know, I just want to put it all together and it's one giant thing.
Yeah.
But then, with his sentences, it's like half the page is like 2 sentences, and I'm like,
really?
oh, okay. But it's because he's explaining one idea, comparing it to another idea, and then saying this is what he gathers from comparing those 2 very complex ideas and theories.
Okay.
And it's a a lot to take in sometimes, and it's like a lot of words that I like don't really know. If it was just saying define this word, I'd be like,
Really?
I don't know. Like off the top of my head, a word that I've heard a lot used, but I couldn't define it specifically, would be like pedantic.
Yeah, I don't know what that. I don't know.
but I think it means something along the lines of like specific or like you know, on the details, like you're being pedantic.
Yeah.
I don't know. I couldn't confidently tell you a description.
You know what? Sometimes I get kind of embarrassed because I work with a lot of people and I hang out with a lot of people who speak 2 to 3, sometimes 4 languages, right?
Yeah.
And then they're almost never native English speakers, you know?
Yeah.
So a lot are from Germany, a lot are from Chile, you know, Spain, wherever they come from.
Yeah.
And they'll ask me what a word means. And
like,
sometimes I just don't know, like pedantic, like I don't know, like I have no idea. So like they'll ask me, and then they'll be like, "Aren't you a native English speaker?" You know, like
right.
in their brain they've got thousands of words,
Yeah.
Between 4 different languages.
Yeah.
They can like switch between languages so fluently, like
yeah.
it's just amazing what they can do. And I can't.
No.
I know a little bit of French, I know a little bit of Spanish, and just English. That's all I can do. But it's it's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Well, I mean, so here's something. I don't know if you ever noticed this. I find Germans have a surprisingly strong English vocabulary.
Yes.
Where it's like they know words I barely know.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what? How
was that meme that you sent me that one time where it was like, oh, my deepest condolences for my equinox of the English language is just not quite there yet.
Right.
That's how Germans speak.
And I'm just like, sorry, I don't know good words and shit. And it's
That's
like,
it.
right? And it's like, bro, you just used like, university level English words that no one uses.
It's true, yeah.
I think maybe just because, but they probably, like, here's a crazy take. They probably just read. Which we don't really like to do in North America. I mean, it's like... You're reading? What are you, gay? No.
I can't hang out this afternoon. I'm reading a book.
You're like, fucking, look at that guy. Fucking, this is it. Reading? Loser.
I was reading a book a while ago. It was really, really good. It was called The Healing Self. I think his name is like Deepak. I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Okay, yeah.
Chopra. I'm gonna get it for you because it's amazing. I don't know. I think it's from India maybe.
Okay.
I could be totally wrong. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But it's a book just about like how to live your life in a really healthy way. Between your mind and your body, and he links lots of things between like yoga and mindfulness to diet and taking care of yourself when you're young, and how much that helps you when you're in your 60s, 70s, and 80s. It helps, like when you eat well when you're young, it helps you prevent so many diseases when you're old.
Big time. And I mean, and so maybe this is just my social media feed, but I mean, I feel like the whole zeitgeist of like at least North American society, people are really focusing in on health related things, like people trying to think about being healthy in all the different ways you can be healthy, like even like not using like the Teflon pans because apparently those aren't great for you, or like just daily exercise and like stretching is really important, and drinking lots of water, and cutting down on different things that you'll be having, but and then maybe like with the whole rising of the I guess people call it the Rogan sphere, like the Joe Rogan and all the different self-help guys, and like the David Goggins of the world, and all these people that are just like, you gotta be fit, you gotta be doing this and doing that, if you don't read 3 books a week, then you're wasting your life. That's a bit extreme. I'm not gonna read a book a week, let alone 3.
Yeah.
Maybe, I'm trying to do this thing with my girlfriend where we read every day.
Yep.
So far I've read 10 pages on one of the days about a week ago.
Okay.
But that was 10 more pages than last month.
That's a start. What book?
It's Confessions of a Yakuzomo or something like that.
Okay.
I'm butchering the shit out of it, but it's some old Japanese gangster thing. So it's like kind of cool. And I read like the first couple pages and I was like, this is pretty badass.
Yeah.
And then every time I look at the book and I'm like, I'm gonna read this soon.
Yeah.
But it never like goes like, it's not like calling me to want to read it. The thing is that I don't find books more interesting or engaging than other media forms.
Well, of course not. When you have like Instagram where it's, you know, showing
That's
you
the problem.
so many different things.
Books aren't as exciting
You're always
as,
like laughing at it, or you're getting different ideas from it, or whatever. That's always going to be more entertaining, for sure.
But I will say, whenever I do get into a good book, it's like really good. It's really nice. Yeah. You know.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. You're still on your sober month, yeah? No, you motherfucker. What?
Okay. So I broke. I cheated a little bit.
What did
I
you
have
do?
to be honest. The other day,
We made a deal that we would be sober completely for all of October.
Yeah.
And we would just take cold showers every
I'm
night.
still doing cold showers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had. This is for research purposes. I had to research.
What?
I had 2 drinks the other day.
Motherfucker.
One was a cocktail and one was a beer, because I'm at work and I'm bartending and I don't know what anything tastes like. And I'm like telling people what's a good drink and I'm just like, I don't fucking know. Like, I haven't drank any of it, and now I've been there for like a month and I still haven't drank shit, and I'm like, I gotta have some of it, you know. And so I hung back with a buddy after work and we were just like shooting the shit, just talking about all kinds of random crap.
Okay.
Yeah. So I ordered a drink that I make a whole lot that I didn't know what it tastes like, and honestly,
What was it?
it's called the Rolling Canoe.
Okay.
It's like a vodka-based cocktail with like I think it's like a cherry or something, and ginger.
Okay. Was it good?
No. No, it's because it's a very strong ginger taste, and I don't really love ginger that much.
No, really.
Not for me, because like, I mean, ginger ale, yeah. Ginger beer is like pretty strong on the ginger, right?
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't order a Moscow Mule.
No.
No, because it's like too much ginger, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, I've had enough redheads in my life. I needed. I had a cousin who was a redhead, and he was a fucking monster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Anyways, yeah.
I love ginger, but
yeah.
Okay.
Ginger in a stir fry. Hell yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
Or like with sushi.
I don't eat sushi.
You don't eat sushi.
No. I didn't eat fish growing up, like, at all.
Doesn't have to be fish. You can get like avocado. Or
I know, but you know that
cucumber.
what is it, nori paper, the seaweed shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, the emphasis on shit.
No, it's so good.
Dude, it tastes like
get some soy sauce in there.
salty ball sacks.
Yeah.
Salty ball sack paper, dude. It's fucking.
How did you figure out what that?
You know, sometimes you do a little scratch and sniff.
You've been reading too many books. That's
I've already been reading too many books. Maybe if I didn't
That's
read
right,
so
yeah.
much.
Yeah, you wouldn't know what sex anyways, yeah. But no, okay. So other than that, I had one coffee because you told me you had a coffee, so I broke my rule.
Yeah.
A couple of days ago.
I feel like coffee doesn't count that much.
No?
Nah.
I feel like that was the deal we made.
I know. I feel like I gave up, kind of. I'm still not smoking weed.
Okay.
I'm still not smoking, and I only had 1 day so far of having drinks, and you know, yeah. There's been many other days where I wanted to have drinks. I've got alcohol in the fridge.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What
And I don't drink.
Yeah, I have some edibles at home that I have been resisting.
Nice. Yeah.
I was thinking about it last night.
Yeah. Last night I was laying in bed with the girlfriend, and she told me that she smoked earlier in the day, and I was like,
really?
"Are you fucking serious right now?" I'm like, bro, what the fuck?
Was that when she went to the spa?
No, it was the day after.
Oh really?
Yeah. So that was last night. Yeah, because it was 2 days ago we went to or was it? What day is it?
Yeah, it would have been yesterday.
It would have been.
Because it was 2 days ago that we went to the.
2 days ago we went to the. Yeah. That was the day that she went to the spa. Yeah. So then yesterday, last night was the day that she. Fuck man, all the days blur together.
Yeah.
And I'm sober mostly. Compared to people who are like, you know, like aggressive addicts, like I'm quite significantly sober.
For sure.
You know?
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not shooting heroin.
No, definitely not. No. But I mean,
You're
like
not
some
on
people
East
are like.
Hastings Street.
Yeah. Dude, yeah, that's wild, man. I can't believe the level of like homelessness in some areas. Like East Hastings Street, or like you ever been to San Francisco?
No.
Dude, you'd love it there.
Yeah.
So many homeless people.
Okay. I think what happens a lot of the time is like communities like say Canmore
Yeah.
or Banff or smaller communities
Yeah.
will provide free bus tickets to homeless people to get them to places like Vancouver and Victoria.
Just
where
get
they're
the
a little
fuck
bit
out of
more-
here.
Well, yeah, exactly, and it's a little bit more friendly there, weather-wise,
Yes, for sure.
temperature-wise, as well as social service-wise.
Yeah.
Because we don't have a lot of services.
No.
Canmore has a homeless shelter with 8 beds. That's it
Oh shit.
for the entirety of Bow Valley. That's it,
Yeah,
and they're
yeah,
only
yeah.
open in the winter. So we
I mean-
don't have much. So I think what happens is I don't know who it is or if it's an organization or what, but there's something that gets these people to the West Coast, and it's a lot better for them there. 'Cause,
Yeah.
Victoria. I mean, I know people can legally camp in public parks. Yeah. They made it a law that you can do it. So there's like signs up and in these parks that are like,
Yeah.
if you need to, you can camp here.
There's a lot of people camping in Montreal.
Yeah.
They had some tents going on.
Yeah.
They were camping for quite a while. Multiple months at a time. Even it's like, damn.
That's quite the
These guys
camping
They're
trip.
dedicated to
Nice.
camping.
They must really like it.
Yeah, and they had a lot of energy real early in the morning. It was wild shit. Yeah.
Did you ever
Eventually, the police told them they couldn't camp there anymore.
Oh.
It was wild because
That's
like
a bummer.
it was like super touristy area, so like you would think that
Was
right
that
in
in
the,
Old Montreal?
yeah, in the old port,
Yeah?
like right.
People were camping there?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. There was like a whole thing. It was like right across the street from the fire station, and actually, there's a lot of people like right in front of the fire station too that were like really, not camping with their tents. I mean, there was like 6 or 7 tents that were all together across
Yeah.
the street from it. But then like
They were
people
all
were just like
neighbors.
laying like they're all neighbors. And then there's people that were like curled up in a ball like right in front of the fire station or whatever. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
What was your craziest homeless person experience in Montreal?
Nothing like super wild. Just people like kind of like yelling at each other.
Yeah.
Or like yelling at me, or people would like ask me for money and like follow me for a few steps, or
Yeah.
I'd be like, and then here's a good one. There was a guy who would always stand at like a certain corner, and he had a reflective vest on, like the yellow,
Yep.
so he kind of looked like a construction worker. And
Yeah.
I don't want to diss construction workers, but this dude. There's like a fine line in look between like the raggediness, and like
Yeah.
the rough face and dirty hair and everything of like a hard-working construction guy,
Yeah.
and a homeless guy with a vest. And so and so then he was like standing like kind of near a construction zone, and then I was like walking up and waiting for the light to change and whatever, and then he's like, hey, how's your day going? And I was like, oh, not too bad or whatever, right? And then he's just like, yeah, do you have a dollar? Do you have any money? And I was just like, no. And then another one, like some homeless guys, because I mean it's Montreal, bilingual city, so people would be like, hey, bonjour, ça va bien? And I'm just like, no, sorry, I don't speak French, because like I don't want to entertain them, and just like it's easier just to tell them I don't speak French, because my English sounds like I don't. And then and then they're like, oh, yes, do you have money? I'm just like, no. I don't know. Maybe I'm I don't know. Am I a bad person for not giving homeless people money?
No.
Like,
I don't
I
think
frequently
so.
don't give them money. Well, okay, so one time, and so this kind of really turned me off from like trying to help anybody out, right?
Okay.
When I was living in Toronto, and there was a dude who came up to me while I was just going to my bus stop, right?
Yep.
And then he's like, hey man, I just lost my wallet, and I'm just trying to get home, and I just need a couple bucks. Like, do you have any change for the bus at all? And I was just like, oh yeah, for sure, I'll help you out, because like the first time I took the bus, I lost my wallet, lost my credit cards, debit cards, my social insurance number was in there, which they tell you not to put in your wallet, which I totally kept, because I was like, if I don't put it in my wallet, I'm gonna lose it for sure. So I have to put it in my wallet. And then guess what? I lost it. So it was the first time I ever sat on a bus, and I just loaded up the local bus pass with $100 worth of bus money on the thing. Okay. And then, forgot it on the bus when I got off to go do a connecting bus ride. That's and then I like went to go to the next bus, and I went to tap my card, and my wallet was gone, and I was like, fuck. And I turned around, and I see the bus driving away.
Identity's gone too, and
everything's gone, right? So I had some what's the word for it? Not condolences. I had some sympathy for this guy. Didn't look homeless at all. Okay. Just looked like just a dude. He might have been out partying overnight, whatever. But anyway, he seemed, in decent enough shape. Yeah. And so then, then I was like, okay, no problem. And I go into my wallet to like pull out some coins and shit. And I had a decent amount of coins, and I also had like a 5 in my wallet. And then he was like kind of like looking, like snooping, and like looking like as soon as I like pulled out the wallet. Yeah. And then he's like, oh, can I actually have that 5? And I was like, bro, nah. And then I was just like, here. And I gave him a toonie, and I was like, here's $2 for the bus. But like that's like I'm not gonna like, and even like then like I should have not given him anything. Okay. But I was like, I'm gonna go. I was like, I told you I'd give you some change for the bus, so I'll give you some change for the bus. But like, I'm not gonna give you $5. Yeah. Because then that's just you asking for money. And like, generally, my rule of thumb is like, I don't really give homeless people money usually ever. Okay. I don't know. Like at most, like maybe like buy them something, like buy them like food or buy them like whatever. Yeah. But yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah. I
know you've had quite a few encounters with homeless people here and there.
No, I love it. But no, I'm similar. I don't like to give money, but I like to just be friends with them. So here in Canmore, there was two homeless people for a while. They left now. I think they went to maybe Victoria or something. I think they're train hopping, so they were jumping on like freight trains and going, which I always thought would be amazing.
There's no passenger trains in this area, so you just gotta fucking jump on.
That's it, right? Either take a bus or jump on a train.
Dude, imagine trying to jump on a train and it doesn't go well. Like you go to jump and they go poof, and you get smacked in the face by the side of the fucking metal train. You're just laying unconscious beside the train, just train hopping.
I've had that thought. Yes. But yeah, so these guys they were pretty cool. And the first time I met them, they asked me for money, and I said no. I was like, no, I'm not gonna give you money. But instead, I hung out with them for a bit and talked to them and got to know them a little bit. They were really, really cool people. And then I saw them like on and off, like downtown, as I would bike by, like nights after I was done working or whatever. And they're really nice. There's one guy, and they both had a dog, and the guy it was a guy and his girlfriend. So they actually got married. And I thought that was amazing, like
homeless in love.
That's it, right? I was like talking to the guy, and he was super, super cool, super nice. He was drunk all the time, and probably on something else. But he was a really cool guy, and he had a dog. He surrounded himself with love. Nice. Even though he was homeless. He had his wife on the street with him. He had his dog. His dog was so well taken care of. I was petting his dog. Very nice, friendly dog. Super like good looking coat. Very well fed. Which was amazing. Especially compared to him. Like he like the guy. He was a little bit. He wasn't like super well kept.
I feel like if you're homeless and you have a dog, people are more likely to give you money.
For sure.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
Because you're not just feeding yourself, you're feeding the dog.
Yeah, right.
And you're probably not going to give your dog drugs.
No.
Your dog's probably not addicted to heroin. Yeah. So, super cool. Like, I really like that. So, the one night, the night before they left, I saw them. And, I never gave them money. I never gave them anything. But, we were just talking and by the end of it, like I gave the guy a hug. I was like, man, congratulations on getting married, and it was super, super cool. So I really like that aspect of it, but I don't like giving all my money away, which I think is fair.
Yeah.
I think so. I really think so.
I was like, man, I I don't got a whole lot of money.
That's it.
You know.
Yeah. You know, I've got enough for me, and that's about it.
You know,
So.
it's like yeah, I don't know. It's like live within your means, and it's like I'm barely living within my means. You know, sometimes I spend a bit extra cash for whatever, like, and then you're kind of like shit.
You go on a date or something, and you spend extra on 2 dinners, and
Go to the dentist or something, and you pay fucking like $800, even though you have benefits supposed to cover it, and you know you still end up paying a shit ton of money, and
yeah, these things happen.
yeah, it's a good time.
You want to have some money put aside for things like that, for sure.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. Well, I had money put aside to move out here, and then I moved out here, and then so far I haven't really had a lot of money put aside since then.
Well, it's hard. It's so hard, you know.
Well, it's hard, man. The freaking price of everything's
You got a
going
place,
up.
you got a car too. Like you've got
Yeah.
a few things going on. So
Got a couple things I got to keep on top of for money wise. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm
Pretty hard to
thinking,
say.
you know.
plus snowboarding and ski.
Well,
pads
that's it, right? Like I gotta.
It's thousands of dollars.
I've got all my shit. I just need to get the ski pass. But yeah.
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 Which is the most expensive part.
Which is it's for sure up there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm thinking. I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking about just doing a ski big 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, I was gonna do a Sunshine and a Sunshine midweek in Norquay 99.
Yeah.
But then I thought, well, how much more money is it just to get a ski big 3 pass? You know, and if I can do that, then that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
And I can just get that going. You know.
Mm.
And then if I do,
How much more is it compared to if you were to get Norquay and Sunshine?
quite a bit.
Yeah.
I think it's like Sunshine midweek. Okay, so Sunshine midweek is
About 800.
yeah, about 800.
Yeah.
Full week is about 1400
Yeah.
for Sunshine. And then Norquay full week with the Norquay 99 thing, I think it's like 500 after tax, so like it's like 429.
Okay.
So then it comes up probably like, 450, 480, something like that.
Yeah.
And then Lake Louise is full pass is what's Lake Louise full pass? Probably like 1500, 1800 or something like that. But then
Is it that much?
yeah, I don't know. But ski big 3 is around $2,000
Okay.
in total. So yeah,
I mean,
think
for what you get, I don't think that's too bad.
I think
Because
it's-
if you were to just buy one individual,
if
if you were to buy 3, like all of them individually, then you'd be paying way more, right?
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, the discount ends in 6 days. So
Okay.
I gotta decide.
Yeah.
Gotta decide real quick what we're gonna do.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think for you maybe Sunshine midweek might
Yeah,
be the best bet.
That's what I'm gonna go
The
for.
payment
for
plan,
sure. Yeah.
Because I was looking at it yesterday, and so now I was just like, if I can do ski big 3 payment plan, and I can break it up into a couple payments,
Yeah.
it's a lot more digestible.
For sure.
I don't want to just drop $2,000 right now because that's just $2,000 on the credit card, which turns out is not
Either
great.
way, you're borrowing money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That's not what you want. You ever been in like proper debt?
now is like the most debt that I'm like managing at one time, where
Okay.
I'm like putting things on the credit card and then I'm paying it off
Yeah.
each month,
Yeah.
right? But then like sometimes at the end of the month there's still like $300 or $500 on the credit card.
Yeah.
But I haven't been in like proper like 5K 10K debt.
Mhm.
I mean the only thing you could say is like student loans,
Yeah.
but it's like OSAP things, and so I'm just paying like $200 a month or something like that. But I'm almost done my student loans. I think it's like January I'm done.
You took a 2-year course, right?
Yeah, 2 of them.
Oh, 2?
Yeah.
What
So
did you
I did social work first.
Oh, did you finish it?
I did a year and a half of it, and I just like stopped
You
going.
were so close.
Yes and no. I dropped some courses in the first year, like one course I think, and then I did the co-op in the first year, and I dropped out of that. And then
What was the co-op?
the reason I dropped out was because my driving, I lost my car. I couldn't drive there anymore. It was working with a school. I was working with a grade 2 class.
Oh, really?
And it was kind of cool. So it was in, for anyone in Toronto, they'll understand this a little more, but it was in Markham, which
Yep.
is a very Chinese heavy place. And that's not like just like stereotyping just all Asians
Yeah.
together. No, it's like straight up like a lot of like Chinese community in
Yeah.
in Markham.
Mhm.
And I was living in Mississauga, which Mississauga to Markham is about an hour and a half, 2 hour drive each way, which I didn't know when I took the internship. I just thought, oh, it's a school with kids, and I love working with kids and stuff, so I was really excited for that. So I was doing that, but there was, kind of ironically, there was a little white boy and then a little black boy, and then those were the two ones that were acting out the most. They were freaking out and like always like doing whatever. So I was just in the class trying to help them. They all called me Mr. L because no one could say my last name. So I was like, "Good morning, Mr. L," and I was just like, "Oh, these little like 6, 7-year-olds, and they're just adorable." Yeah. But yeah, it was fun. But basically there was some troubles with the car insurance because I had it on auto pay, but then I changed my bank account from a kid's bank account to an adult bank account. But I didn't know that I would have to tell all the providers that were direct depositing out that I had to change the bank, because my debit card stayed the same, my login stayed the same, the password stayed the same, everything in my brain stayed the same. I didn't do anything to move the money over.
They just weren't able to take your money.
But they weren't able to because the number wasn't the same, apparently, the account number. So then the insurance bounced, and then I was canceled for my insurance, and so then I couldn't drive anymore, so I had to stop driving, and it was a whole fucking big deal and whatever. And So anyways, then I went, then I stopped driving because I was under like insurance plan with my mom. Which, like, you know, a lot of people do, whatever, right? And it's like shared insurance, whatever. But then for me to get insurance fully on my own, living in Toronto, was the cheapest I could find was $550 a month. Most of them said $600 or $700 a
Isn't
month.
That crazy?
I was an 18-year-old in Toronto who just got his insurance canceled, so fair. But
well, I don't think that's fair. I don't know.
No, I mean, no, definitely.
That's a lot of money.
No, I mean, like, fair, like, from, like, sorry, not fair, understandable through the perspective of the insurance company of, like, I understand how it would have gotten there. I still think it's bullcrap. I still think it's stupid as shit, and I think that it's actually quite sexist.
For sure.
That they have dramatically higher, like, when I was talking to Audrey about my insurance plan, now I'm paying, like, $130 a month, and I was like, dude, I'm only paying $130. That's awesome. That's like so cheap. That's probably one of the cheapest insurance I've ever had. Even like my dad, I think, and his girlfriend, they pay like you know, like $150, $180, like close to like $200 a month for their insurance.
Really?
Yeah. And you know, they're like, you know, they're 40s and 50s and stuff, and they're doing their thing, and you know, good for them. But then it's like, I got. They thought that I was like, you know, not getting proper insurance or something, whatever. But and then Audrey's like, hey, why is that so expensive? That's like more expensive than any insurance I've ever had. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, that's like really cheap. Like, that's super cheap. And it's just a different experience, right? Because like, for her, it's like over 100 is a lot on insurance.
What's it like in Quebec? I don't know what insurance is like there.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably just a lot cheaper in general. And then V was telling me that he, our buddy V, he in Lithuania. He said that insurance was like super cheap, like $50 or $60 a month, like at most. Yeah.
Wow.
But I mean, you know.
Yeah, I think mine started out as 320 or something or so a month, and then like I stayed with the same company for 5-6 years, so it gradually went down. I think
and then as you get older too, right? And then you have a clean record and everything.
And that's it, right? They're like, you haven't gotten any tickets, you haven't gotten anything, so we're lowering it by $50 this month. And then, you know, every few months they would do that. So I think by the end of it I was paying maybe something similar, maybe 150, 180 or so a month. Okay. So it wasn't as bad, but
it's still a good chunk of money though.
Yeah.
You know? And then that's like before you pay for gas, and, you know,
and repairs for your car.
Any kind of maintenance, something happens, you know. Brakes need replaced. You gotta get an oil change. I gotta get an oil change.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I've been putting that off.
You should do it. Yeah. It's good for your car, for sure. Yeah,
maybe brakes. We'll see. Last time I had a car in Hampton. That was the one car I bought is the Buick that we actually took across the country.
Oh yeah.
I ignored the brakes so bad on that one. And I almost got hit by a train.
You told me about that.
Yeah. I tried to stop, and then the car wouldn't stop, and then I just kept sliding, and then I was like stopped in the middle of the train tracks, and it was scary as shit. So then I just went and pulled over, and I was like, all right, I'm getting my brakes fixed ASAP. And then you know, $2,000 later. Because mechanics are super cheap in Banff. Fuck.
Yeah.
What a joke.
Man, I think I told you my brother bought a truck and he's loving it.
Oh yeah, he's fixing
doing
up
so
like
much
crazy.
work on it. Yeah,
Yeah.
like he bought it for 5,000, and apparently it's worth maybe 10,000 or more. So he really lucked out. But I guess it was really well taken care of. Like, you know, it's got an oil change every, I don't know how often you're supposed to do an oil change.
Yeah.
Like exactly when it was supposed to be done.
Yeah.
It was done. So he's got stickers and records for all of it. And he's loving it. You know, he's taking it apart and doing so many things with it. You know.
Yeah.
But he saves so much money on mechanics bills because he knows how to do it. You know? He's just teaching himself, you know, using YouTube or.
Well, I'll say you can learn everything on YouTube now, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, it's true. If you have the will to do it, yep, you're gonna do it.
Oh yeah.
Sure. But yeah, me, I never learned how to.
No.
No, I could do like very basic maintenance. But
Yeah.
that was it.
What I did do by myself, I used to have a little Mazda 3. It was so much fun to drive around, a little zip car, and it was manual as well. And
Oh,
stuff. But I replaced the stereo on it, or like the radio.
Okay.
And so, and then I also replaced the speakers. One of the speakers was blown out.
Hmm.
And so I just like, watch YouTube videos on like how to take the car door apart and whatever to be able to get in there and then
Yeah.
replace the thing. And then I put in a backup camera.
Oh,
On
yeah?
it. And so
Really?
I went and fed the wire through the side of the car and attached it to the reverse light so that the backup camera turns on as soon as the reverse light cable goes on. And that's how it got power or whatever.
Yeah.
And then and so then I set that all up and it was really cool. And it was like cool because it was like an older car, but it like having that little touches of like modernizing it really made it cool.
Yeah.
I was thinking about doing a little bit of that to the Volkswagen, but I don't know if I really want to. I think I have other things I want to put money into first.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe.
Just playing the radio. My speaker is fine for now. So.
It is.
It works.
Until your passenger is like sitting there and it just goes.
Well, yeah.
From the dashboard.
I've learned from that mistake now. I put it in the back or I just have them hold on to it,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely fell on Audrey's knees a few times.
That's it. No, but I feel like there's like it's such a good feeling when you fix or add something yourself,
Yeah.
Like for me, I love it. Even simple things, with my bike,
Yeah.
I replaced the tube and
Yeah.
just on my own, just doing YouTube and whatnot. And I
Yeah.
wasn't sure if it was gonna work. I was like, hopefully it works.
Yeah.
Yep, it worked.
Yeah.
And it's been working for like months now.
Yeah.
It's great. And
Oh
then-
yeah, because you were going with the flat tire. You kept having to inflate it, and then it was
yeah,
deflating.
right. Yeah. So I was like, okay, enough of this. So I fixed it, and then I have a client in Banff. I think I've told you about.
Oh yeah.
And for the longest time now, for like 6 months at least, we've been putting together like a TV stand for him.
Yeah.
So it's just me doing it. And I put it together, but we didn't put the drawers in. That was the only thing. So everything else was good. The TV is on the stand. It just looks good. But I made a lot of mistakes with the drawers. So yesterday I went in to his place and I got a drill from the library in Banff, like the Library of Things.
Yeah.
So I rented the drill and went to his place and fixed it, and then we put like two of the drawers in, and it feels so good. You look at it and it's like, man, like I just did that.
Yeah, 100%.
It's such a good feeling.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Yeah. I think putting some time into something and really like making seeing from start to finish, creating something is a really rewarding, satisfying feeling.
Especially when it's kind of difficult, when you run into problems along the way and you're like,
overcoming those challenges.
Yeah.
100%.
Exactly. And when it's super easy, it's just not. No, it's not it.
It's not exciting, and it's just way less rewarding. And it's like, oh, okay, we did this, but yeah, it was super easy.
That's it.
Yeah. All right, man. I think that's a good place to wrap it up. It's been another awesome episode. Nice 53. Fuck yeah. All right, yeah. I'm gonna cut her off here. Well, until next time, my friends. It's been Jake and Sam.
Until next time.
Until next time.